And something else, while we're talking about cancel culture, I feel like I'm in Bizarro world, like I've stepped through some cosmic bunny hole. Because now we have Sarah Silverman saying, I can't believe, it's so absolutist, and Cuomo going, I'm not going to bow to cancel culture.
Right,
Your culture, more so than even your fake Italian culture and your nipple barbells, is cancel culture. It's your raison d'etre. And now you have Bill Maher sounding the alarm about actual, this is not a joke, now about China.
China.
China. Here you go.
Well, we're the silly people now. Do you know who doesn't care that there's a stereotype of a Chinese man in a Dr. Seuss book? China. Half the country is having a never-ending woke competition deciding whether Mr. Potato Head has a dick. And the other half believes we have to stop the lizard people because they're eating babies. We are a silly
That's a false
people.
equivocation.
In San
Mr.
Francisco,
Potato was
it
changed
took
because
10
of pressure.
years
Lizard people,
just to get
it's like
2
two people who
bus
believe it.
lines through environmental review. There is a progressive trend now to sacrifice merit for equity. Colleges are chucking the SAT and ACT test, and in New York, Mayor de Blasio announced merit would no longer decide who gets into the schools for advanced learners, but rather a lottery system. You think China's doing that? Letting political correctness get in the way of nurturing their best and brightest? Those are real. And so is China, and they are eating our lunch.
Okay, a couple of things really quickly here. You see this with Sarah Silverman. Let me explain. You see Sarah Silverman, Cuomo, cancel culture, and now him talking about not using the SATs, lowering standards. Okay, so now we have 3 very clear examples. All right. Has there been a single Republican who's pushed for anything other than merit-based education? Never. Has there been a single Republican who has pushed for hate speech laws? Or push for more censorship on big tech? There might be a couple there. I don't know exactly. Very, very few. How many Republicans have been out there trying to get people banned for referring to something as gay or colored? Which, by the way, you can say people of color, can't say colored people. I go with colored people just because I only have so much time in the day. So the issue here is, again, he's talking about China. If only there had been a president who Bill Maher had mocked mercilessly for years, sounding the alarm on China. And by the way, you said he was racist, and you said that there was a rising epidemic of anti-Asian hate crimes by white supremacists, which we just talked about last week. 85% of all violent crimes in the Bay Area, San Francisco, are committed by blacks against Asians. So I tell you what, if this is a byproduct of white supremacy, that is some powerful third removed racism, right? The white supremacists are so effective they've gotten black people to do their bidding against Asians, or maybe there's some animosity against Asians because of people like you've talked about in the New York legislature, because of people, for example, who've said Asians have to score higher on SATs, and they're turning them away in record numbers from universities like Brown and Stanford, and lowering the standards for black people. And so black Americans go, why does he have what I got? And it creates animosity against Chinese people who are 1 generation removed from, or 2 generations removed from their grandparents being in internment camps, and they are disproportionately wealthy because of their work ethic and having intact families. And you've told black Americans, because you see them through the prism of race exclusively, that the problem is, well, everyone hates black people, but everyone loves the Asians.
Well, they see them through the prism of being victims. I mean, they lump all black people in as a victim, and that's insulting to black people.
Right.
It's
they're often the perp.
Well, and you see
Hey, wait a minute.
I thought you were saying that they want to be
That's not what I'm saying. At the end of the day, Stephen's not giving guys like Bill Maher and people like Sarah Silverman on the left a way back.
It's true.
I mean, stop putting up walls, Stephen. Stop building walls. They're just
themselves away.
No, I think we need walls.
Sorry.
I don't want them in.
Sorry, guys.
You can't trust Sarah
Hey, they're being converted.
I don't think they're being converted. What they're saying is we need to be less absolutist so that Brian Callen will check his privilege, make sure that he allows himself to be white-shamed, use our cultural lexicon, and be a good little serf. That's what they're saying.
But I'm half Italian and I'm Sicilian and my family were peasants. They have short fingers made for working, the fields.
Yeah.
I'm not that
and the
white.
Moors, you've got some ethnicity.
Yes,
in you.
I did my genome. I'm not, a Viking like yourself.
I'm not a Viking.
6'2" and all chest and ass.
The common thread here is that the person that they hated and they were blinded by is now gone. And now reality can kind of creep its way back in just a little bit. And it's like, guys, you hated him so much that every one of you have done things against what you're saying right now. Like, you have actually created the situation you hate only because you hated Donald Trump. And we told you that while you were doing it.
The left has been systematically enabling and empowering China just to try and spite Donald Trump. And I'm not even just talking about the Biden family members smoking crack with Chinese prostitutes, or Eric Swalwell banging Ming Ming. Which, by the way, how was that guy on an intelligence How was that guy on an intelligence committee when he was banging Chinese spies?
Well, she was, to be fair, she was very hot.
I'm sure she was very hot.
She spoke fluent English, guys. A man,
and she thought he was powerful.
He knew.
He's only one man.
He knew she was a spy. My point is, I don't want to rely on that man for anything.
No.
I wouldn't let him watch my kids, let alone be on an intelligence committee. So let's talk about what the left has done to enable China, because Bill Maher leaves that part out, right? What do we have? We have TPP. The only person who opposed it was Donald Trump. NATO doesn't see China as a threat. You look at the policies with the UN. You look at Donald Trump. You look at Donald Trump with the Paris Accord, saying China's building record. They're not going to respect this. This isn't fair. You look at Disney, of course, bowing to China. You look at the NBA's billion-dollar relationship with China, where they banned people who were protesting for the liberty of the Hong Kong people, their right to peaceably assemble. Not to mention the WHO, the World Health Organization, who Dr. Fauci said are the most reputable source for available data regarding COVID-19. They should be trusted. Donald Trump said, we're not going to be funding WHO at all. We won't be involved. That was changed with Joe Biden. This is the same. If you care about human rights, no justice, no peace, keep in mind, this is the same World Health Organization, right? Who don't even acknowledge the existence of Taiwan, and they're not even trying to hide it.
Here's the thing you guys are not keeping in mind. You can actually stream Disney in the re-education Uyghur camps, and that's that's something you don't realize.
That's a benefit.
That's how they got to the 100+ million subscribers.
Yeah.
They're counting all of those
in the
guys.
million or so Uyghurs in concentration camps, which you never hear about, by the way. I mean, that's a little hypocritical.
No. You started to hear about it about a year and a half or 2 years after we were sounding the alarm, like, hey guys, you remember Rwanda? And everybody thought, oh my gosh, this is terrible. This is happening. We're actually complicit in this. You're complicit in China now. We've known for a very long time.
But you know what? At least they have Disney Plus. So in between bowing to Mecca 5 times a day, they can check in with Mandalorian. And, where go Gina Carano?
I know. So Gina Carano's a threat, but the Uyghurs, nobody brings that up. I guess Disney Plus.
I've been bringing it up since 2009 because I visited Guantanamo Bay and I saw the Uyghur prison, and they had an oceanside view.
Oh, did they?
And Xboxes.
Well, they make you watch Mulan as torture, so
the new version.
But did NATO interview any of the Uyghurs when they were talking about China not being a threat?
No. I don't think so. They were too busy watching Mulan. And we'll make a man out of you. Well, listen, I don't know.
We can do that now. We have the technology.
Yeah.
It can happen.
The King and I.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.